Good evening. Namaste. Welcome. Hello. Shalom. If we haven't met before, my name is Kay. I'm a spiritual life coach. Sunday nights, we gather to meditate, to do some spiritual work, to come home to ourselves. Thank you for joining me this evening. We'll begin turning our focus within as we always do, so please get comfortable. If you would like to sit in a chair or on the floor or lay down, whatever makes you happy. And you want to turn your gaze within, so if you would like to close your eyes or take a soft focus, either is fine. Just start by noticing how you're breathing. Tune into yourself, maybe for the first time today. How are you? What's going on for you? Feel your belly expand on the inhale, contract on the exhale. Feel your face soften. Feel your neck soften. Your shoulders, your back, your chest. Feel everything letting go. You are well. All has been well. All will be well. Just trust and settle in. And as you settle in, notice your consciousness, your sense of self, your sense of being who and where you are. Feel it start to spread. Feel the boundaries of who you are extend past the limits of your physical body. Feel yourself entering a state of pervasiveness. A state where you fill the room. It's an odd thing about spiritual work is we work so hard to come back to ourselves, to come back to our bodies, to be here with ourselves. And by doing so, we end up taking up so much more space than our bodies. we end up being so much more. And if something's true so often as its opposite. Feel how much space you take up. Feel how expansive you are, how full of life, full of joy, full of power, full of wisdom, full of grace, full of surrender, full of joy, full of love. Everything you need is here. And it's all right here. Okay, so as you settle into this lovely, expansive, soft, fuzzy space, I want to invite you to let go of all the judgments you hold about yourself. Those I should have been, I should have done, I could have. I wish I had said something different when I got angry at my friend. I should have stopped her from walking out the door. I could have handled that situation better. Especially most of us who are on a spiritual path, we often hold ourselves to a high standard that we should get it. That we should be at our best, or be above it, or whatever phrase is yours of choice. Sometimes you need to forgive yourself for not doing as well as you hoped you would have, for not being as honest with yourself, for not being as transparent with yourself, for not being as kind to yourself. Forgive yourself for not being forgiving. Forgive yourself for your weaknesses and not owning your strengths. Forgive yourself for the things you could have handled more gracefully. So often it's not so much what we did, but what we learned from the experience. Did we take it and grow and learn something about ourselves, about the world? Did we find a way to be a little more elegant the next time? A little more surrendered? A little more at peace? Can you forgive yourself not only for the things you did do, but also that you didn't? Those times where you should have said something or done something and you didn't have the guts in that moment. Those can be some of the hardest regrets. They say at the end of life we regret most the things we did not do rather than the things we did. Unless, of course, that thing you did got you dead, in which case then you'll probably be regretting that as you're dying. But apart from that, It's okay to be imperfect. It's okay to be messy. To be where you are. Breathe into wherever you feel the tension as I speak creep up in you, and use the breath to invite it to release. And breathe into it and surrender it out. Om Namah Shivaya. Shivaya Nama Om. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. You are whole, you are beautiful, you are well, even with your imperfections. Even with all your faults. We are all works in progress. Today I was having an experience where it came to light to me areas where I could have been behaving with better self-awareness. And if you know my shtick, because you watch my YouTube channel or read my book, you know for me, self-awareness is something I highly prioritize. And so to get some direct feedback today where I realized, I did not entirely see what I was doing right there. I could have been handling this better. I could self-flagellate and beat myself up with a cat of nine tails, which is not my kind of kink. It might be yours, in which case, mazel tov, enjoy. Or I could just say, interesting. Good to know. Next time, I'll be a little more aware. Doesn't mean I'm going to be perfect. I'm still going to mess up again. But there's a story I love because self-forgiveness and doing better next time is not just a one-off and done, hey, I got it, I'm good to go. It's a learning curve. There's a story of a person walking down the street who falls into a pothole. Didn't see it coming, don't know how to get out. It takes them several minutes of scrambling to climb back out of this sinkhole. And they tell themselves, I will never do that again. Until the next time they're walking down the same street and the same thing happens. Why there's not road construction people and municipalities fixing this damn road, I do not know. I did not write the story. But the person falls into the hole again. Shit, I did the same effing thing. And it again takes them a few moments, but they climb out. Surprisingly, but not surprisingly. Happens to them a third time. But this time they are swiftly able to climb out. The next time they might even remember that there's a pothole as they're tripping into it. The next time they walk around the pothole. And the next time they choose a different street to walk down. Forgive yourself for not avoiding that pothole. We all do it. We often have to circle back around to things numerous times before the learning occurs. It's okay. It's quite okay. Sometimes doing your best is all you can do, even if it's not good enough. I think that's a hard lesson for us in life to learn. Sometimes all I can give you is my best in that moment, and sometimes my best is just not enough. And we beat ourselves up about it. We want to do better, be better. You can only give what you've got. And if you don't have enough, then maybe you'll grow into it. Or maybe the expectations will change from the other person. It's okay to not be enough for a given situation because you're going to learn something. You're going to grow. Life didn't give you the situation to overwhelm you. It brought it to you to teach you something, to challenge you, to give you something to overcome. Life is not about perfection. It's about learning and growing and evolving. Part of evolving is taking missteps. Innovation is iteration, failure, iteration, failure, iteration, failure, until something sticks. It takes time. It takes forgiveness. You're in your process and it's beautiful. So be kind to yourself. Be kind to other people who are trying and maybe also are not doing good enough. But they're trying. I love you. I forgive you. Forgive yourself now. There's nothing else that needs to be done. Just let it go. Give it over. You've carried your burdens long enough. I forgive myself for not being able to better protect myself when others were hurting me. I forgive myself for not recognizing the poor situations they were putting me in and doing something about it. I forgive myself for not behaving better, for reacting in an unkind way. I forgive myself for not always living up to my standards and for setting such high standards in the first place. I forgive myself for not loving myself enough for so long. I forgive myself for desperately wanting to escape and be somebody else for so long. I forgive myself for the dissatisfaction I felt, whether it was foisted upon me from others or from internally. I forgive myself for not being more evolved. I forgive myself for not being able to hold my temper. I forgive myself for still going in and trying one more time when I knew that person didn't care. And wasting all that energy. Putting myself through all that angst when I didn't need to. I'm letting all of this go. I forgive myself, but I also learn from it. I don't dismiss it. I move forward with the knowledge I gained. In gratitude, in peace, in love, in compassion. Om Namah Shivaya. Shivaya Namah. Take your hands, place them on the floor beside you, and as you breathe out, imagine any tension, anything you're holding you don't need to, draining out down your arms, through your hands, and into the floor. Every breath in is a purifying breath of light into your heart. Every breath out, you're pulling out any tension, any smog, anything blocking you, and letting it flush into the earth where it's carried away and return back to the collective unconscious. Let it go. Let it go. You're going to be okay. I'm going to be okay. They all are going to be okay. Whoever you wronged is going to be okay. Unless you killed them, in which case they'll have to be okay in their next life. It's all okay. It's all going to be okay. It's going to work out. Let go. Have fun. Enjoy the ride as best as you're able. I'm Kay. It is a sincere pleasure to spend some space and time with you this beautiful Sunday evening. Spring is feeling like it is fully here, 75 degrees by me today. Oof. Enjoy it. Enjoy this life. Because there's no guarantee of a next one. Have a great night.